Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Compendium of Mad Science. Yes, it is finally here. After many months of procrastination, I finally decided to get my video blog underway. A blog of all my ramblings and potterings and tinkerings and experimentings and inventings that go on within this very lab. Yes! Finally. Got some ideas of what sort of stuff we can do. We can do teardowns of electronics, basic experiments, microscopy, maybe we drop a radio work, play around with various mad science things, and do some work on the whiteboard. And of course, just whatever's going through my head on that particular day. Ramblings. Esoteric ramblings. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the ZX81. This is going to be our first teardown because it's small, simple, and will allow me to cut my teeth on the whole process of editing videos. I am your resident mad scientist, Callum P. Robertson, and you are watching the Compendium of Mad Science.
So this is the ZX81. This particular unit happens to be the first computer that I ever programmed. This is just going to be a quick overview and teardown. I'm not planning on doing anything particularly in-depth, for the simple reason that these computers are fairly simple and there just isn't that much to actually explore with them. Starting with the keyboard, this is terrible. There is no tactile feedback whatsoever with this. It is the single worst keyboard I have ever used in my entire life. Zooming in on that, we can see each individual key has 3 or 4 functions. At the bottom there are math functions for when the unit is in calculator mode. On the top we have various other operations such as saving, clearing, continuing and so on. I seem to recall these may have been shortcuts to the various commands rather than functions unto themselves. I can't remember, it's been about 15 years since I've used one of these. There's also the secondary function listed in red, and the tertiary function in the bottom right, which is used for drawing graphics. In fact, there may have been a graphics mode that you needed to put it in to run them. I really can't remember. Lifting off the back plate reveals the back side. There's a small region here which doesn't appear to be on any other units that I've seen. It looks like the board was tin plated, and over time the crinkly tin plate has deteriorated and the solder mask has just crumbled off of it. Just for anybody interested, this is the 1981 issue 3 board. Produced by, is that PCIB? Not entirely sure. Taking a look at the main board, we have an RF modulator. This is the main way to get video out of the unit. You can actually mod these to output video directly. Over here we have a 7805C voltage regulator. This is a Ferranti ULA marked 2C210E. I assume ULA is an uncommitted logic array, but this is a custom part by Ferranti specifically for Sinclair, and I've not been able to find a whole lot of data on it. Maybe if anyone else knows, they can drop it down in the comments. The brains of the operation is an SGS Z80. Specifically, this is a Z80A, marked Z8400AB1. Over here we have a Motorola ZCM38818P. This is the ROM of the system. MOSTEC MK4118N-4. That's an 8K RAM. Here's the main Ferranti, the dog's body of the system. The Z80A CPU, the Motorola ROM, and the MOSTEC RAM. And of course a venerable 7805C voltage regulator, bolted directly onto a bit of aluminium to act as a heatsink. You also have a number of steering diodes and some pull-up resistors for the keyboard matrix tied directly to the keyboard output. The main power supply is a 9V DC linear supply. And what interests me about this is that it actually uses a 3.5mm jack. Inside the power supply, which is quite low-tech, particularly by today's standards, you'll find a linear topology. It's about as simple as you can get. Transformer, 2 diodes, and a capacitor. The main smoothing cap is a Fraco. It's marked a P5. There's also a 4700/16 written on top. I'm not entirely sure what size this is. That's the only marking on it. There's not much on the bottom at all. Appears to be a Carco brand. I quite like the look of these traces here. They're very, it looks like they've been widened for increased current handling capability. I don't know why I'd want to do that to the smoothing cap. Granted, it is quite a distance away from the output of the power supply. Interesting to note is this section over here. 4 large pins, and 4 smaller pinholes in the centre. Flipping that over reveals two diodes, what look like 4 cut leads, or that may just be the solder flowing through. But it looks like there's space for an extra pair of diodes in here. Did this used to be a 4 diode full wave bridge rectifier? And they've cut it back for whatever reason into a 2 diode full wave rectifier? I have no idea. Is this a cost saving measure? Did 2 of the diodes fail and they just cut them off? Very strange. Apart from that, there's literally nothing else. Apart from a little thermal cutoff switch, just in case the transformer gets a little too toasty. As I said at the very beginning, this is just a short video to cut my teeth on the whole process of putting a video together. In a week or two I should hopefully be putting up another video on something a bit meatier. I have a Fluke 6160A. This is a frequency synthesizer and it's considerably bigger than this. That should hopefully be a bit more interesting as well. That's all for now, folks. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and a comment, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. I am Callum Robertson, and this was episode 1 of the Compendium of Mad Science. Catch you soon, folks.